to Hillbilly Adventures. So, we've been going around fixing up vintage RCs. So, I went to a friend of mine's house, and he had 3 vintage RCs, all the same truck. And one of them was pretty dang cool. And I just had to have it. A friend of mine, JR, who was there, he saw it and loved it, but he didn't want to spring for it, and well, when I saw he wasn't going to buy it, I did. And yeah, he's been razzing me about it ever since. But anyway, so what did I get? I found in Barry's little hobby shop or basement or whatever you want to call it, a Tamiya. Now, if you don't know what Tamiya is a Japanese company. It makes some of the, in my opinion, just coolest RCs out there, and they're kind of, the Tamiya is kind of like, once you get one, there's just something about a Tamiya that you just love. Some of their cars aren't what you would consider to be like competition worthy vehicles or anything, but man, they're just so much fun and they have so much character that you just can't help but fall in love with them. Well, anyway, this is one of those. It is a Tamiya Stadium Blitzer, and man, oh man, is this thing not freaking cool. I love the paint job that somebody put on it and the stickers. Man, I just think it is so freaking cool. And it's got the old vintage wheels. They're, a little yellowing. They're not bright white like they used to be. You can still get wheels for this thing. They're brand new. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay with the originals here. So I never owned one of these. I never even knew one of these existed. And as soon as I laid eyes on it, man, gosh, man, it just sits so low. That low profile look. I had to have it. Just had to have it. So I got this thing. It was missing a battery cover. I actually was able to find a file. I can't remember if it was on Thingiverse or Yegi. But if you have one of these and you need to be able to fasten your battery down, they do have a battery cover on one of those websites, and I printed out the file and works great. Didn't have any issues at all with the print. Anyway, let's take a look at what's under the hood. This one here, I mean, it was a little dirty, but it wasn't real bad. I mean, stuff that you get from our friend Barry, he's usually at least cleaned it up a little bit, or he reminds me of the TV show Pickers. If you've ever watched that, American Pickers, but he's like American Pickers for RC, and he goes in to these people that are selling a bunch of stuff, and he just gets the cream off the top. And he comes back with some pretty cool stuff. I gotta give the man credit. So anyway, let's get this awesome body off. And this one's actually in good shape. I mean, this one here is, yeah, there's no need for getting a replacement body. That thing is all right. It's got a little dust on it. I should have cleaned it up before the video, but trust me, you wipe it down, it looks really good. So here's what we got on the inside. Now, this is the part that I had to 3D print right here, and as you see, I mean, it's a really good print. It still has the original servo in there. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it works. This motor was in it when I got it. Don't know if it's original or not, but it works. So we're going to leave it in there. Again, I put the 1060 electronic speed control. in this one. And under here, you can't see it, is my FlySky GT5 receiver. The only thing I don't like about this deal is my wires from my motor weren't exactly long enough, so I got them plugged in right here. I'm probably going to, I think I have some blue and yellow wire. I'll have to look when I find it, and I'm going to resolder these ends, route it through here, and make it long enough so it doesn't have to stretch like that near the shock. I don't like that. That will be fixed. But all in all, I mean, dude, this thing is pretty sick. So I fired this one up, and just like that Traxxas Hawk that I cleaned up and fired up, sounds great. The gearbox is cherry. Whoever had this thing, I don't think they ran it much. And he's got two more of these. One of them with a purple body, which I wasn't too keen on the purple. I didn't really pay attention to the rest of it. I mean, it may be even better shape than this one. I can't imagine that it is, because this one's pretty killer. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to try this thing out. And that's what's going to happen. I am going to do a run video as soon as we get some good weather. It's coming up on winter. Well, we're in winter. We're coming up on Christmas time. So, as soon as I get some decent weather where it's not extremely cold and nasty outside, I'm going to shoot some videos of run of these things, man. And I'm kind of jazzed up to give this one a spin. I think it's quick. I can tell by the just you give it the throttle and man, it goes. I did have to order new rear tires for it. The tires on this one, the rear tires were shot. They were bald. And the thing about this thing is you can still get parts for it. It wasn't hard at all to find parts. I could have bought a little battery cover, but I was like, why buy it when I've got a 3D printer and the black PLA plus spool is already in there ready to go. Just click print and get her done. But yeah, I dig it, man. I'm just excited to have it. I'd really like to give it a rip right now, but yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit. But man, I just love it. I love it. I got it hanging on the wall back over here near my 3D printer, and every time I walk in the room, I see it, and it just makes me smile. It just screams, early 90s. Back when the stadium trucks were hot, and we actually had a division in this area back when RC was actually pretty hot in this area of Virginia, and we had a stadium truck racing class. And man, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there was guys who had RC10s they had converted over, into a truck. That was before Team Associated came out with the RC10T. And I actually raced a Junior T, which I've got over there. I should probably shoot a video on it and put it out there one day, show you guys. And I actually did amazing with the Junior T. I actually won quite a lot. That thing got me a lot of blue ribbons. A few second places, but very seldom did I get beat with that thing. Man, if I had one of these, I bet it probably would have done pretty well. Anyway, I also saw they make Tamiya makes a Blitzer that is a Beetle, and it may be the Beetle Blitzer, I don't know, but they make a Beetle version of this thing with a Volkswagen body on it, and it's killer. And if I run across one of those, guess what? I'm probably going to have another RC to hang on the wall. I don't have anything in here that has a Volkswagen Beetle body, and I like Volkswagen Beetles. I've liked them since I was a kid. And it's weird that I just don't have any. This doesn't feel right. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll spring for a monster Beetle, go that route at some point. Although they do make, Tamiya makes another Beetle that's four-wheel drive. That's like a street car. That's pretty sick. I like it a lot too. Anyway, guys, hey, thanks for coming back and checking me out here on the channel. Don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you're not already. And, hey, man, get out there and have fun with RC. It's one thing that I miss the most about my dad not being around is whenever me and the guys went out, he always said, you boys go out there and have fun and don't take no wooden nickels. And, man, I miss hearing that, but every time I get messing with this stuff, I can hear him in my mind, saying, go out there and have fun. And that's what I try to do. And this little hobby here just brings a smile to your face. If you're not into RC, man, you should try it. You should try it. It's a lot less expensive than building the real thing, and there's no limit to what you can do. You're only limited by your imagination. I mean, if you want a Volkswagen Beetle, you can either buy one or you can build one. If you don't like that and you want a street rod, well, guess what? About anything you can do in real life, you can do in RC, and even more, and at a fraction of the cost. And the coolest thing of all about it is when you're done with it, put it on a shelf. Right? You don't need a fancy garage. You don't need a whole bunch of tools. I mean, you can get by with pretty much the basics, and the people who are in the hobby are amazing people. I've met so many great people that are just down to earth, good human beings. And when you run into folks like that, it lifts you up. It really does.